What's going on, guys? Welcome to the very first episode of A Great Place to See a Bigfoot and Go Missing. The very first episode is Monongahela National Forest in beautiful West Virginia. Yeah, that's right. We are in hill country. And this particular place is thick. There are very few actual designated campgrounds. This is one of those places where you find a trailhead on the outskirts and you go in. And you're looking at forest that is dense and very old, very dense forest. Look at these heads that are in there. You can see the water deposits in this particular place, and thusly the occupied habitats. And that's really what this is about. There are trails going all through this place, but I can tell you right now, if you screw up in this place, you're not coming out. It's not one of those places to screw around. It's big, it's easy to get lost, and the habitat is expansive. I would imagine that hiking in this area can be, look at this, look at how thick. These are 60, 70 foot trees, most of them, and some of them are bigger than that. And there's all kinds of stuff unseen and unrealized in these forests, staring up at the sky. You never know what you're going to find on satellite screwing around in here. But if you were to hike in here, you see these like natural fingers. You'd want to naturally follow these. These are the little depressions, the little cracks, right? So you're going to have water in these, right? This is going to be water escape. And these particular areas are very interesting, all of them. And we're looking at thick, heavy canopy. And you go walking through this area right here, and you're going to be in the dark all through here. And this is all canopy, this light colored stuff. It's all overgrowth. See that? That's overgrowth on top of this dark green. This is all vine. You know what's in here? Trouble. That's what's in here. And you can see where it's at. I'm marking it. Here's the forest. Forest Road 235. And that's these light spots. So if you were going to go research, my read on this area is that following the water, you're going to hit canopy growth, and we can see that the canopy growth is coming off of the water. We can see this is the vine growth over very stable areas in the canopy, and then you can see the river's a little wider here, so we've got active tributary going back in there. We know the creatures dig tributary. We know they dig offshoots. We know some of this stuff could be them for decades. Who knows? Is this what evidence of the creature's existence? The eco-engineering on how they get these canopies, get the water back into these areas so that it starts to build these canopies. Water stability in these areas is crucial to this really lush light colored growth. And see this stuff, man? This is the kind of stuff that they like living under. It's odd shaped, this one here. This is odd shaped. This one here may be worth a look. But you get odd shapes in nature like that. But here again, here's Forest Road 233. Buck Run is another name for it. Buck Run. Monongahela National Forest. It's no joke. Like I said, don't get caught with your pants down in here. And if you really want to know, the darkest areas are going to have some very scary creatures in them, and then the lightest areas are going to have some very scary light sensitive creatures in them as well, man. This is high diffusion areas, and the filming in areas like this where you've got canopies that are this thick. Look at this. And of course, these are also different types of trees, but they're providing the thickest parts, man, where you can't even see through it, you know? Look at this. It's like broccoli, for Christ's sake. So, you know, when you get into these kind of areas, it's head on a swivel kind of thing. And I don't know that I would venture too far off the damn side of the road. I think driving through here and taking the occasional fire road that's manageable in my truck would be one thing. Being very careful as I went to make sure that the road before me was not going to prevent me from returning in some way, right? And those are very careful understandings. If you don't know how to drive through a forest like this, don't do it. It's real simple, because if your vehicle's not maintained right, it can end very badly in a place like Monongahela National Forest. And I can tell you right now, the hominoids are prolific and extremely large. Thanks for listening. If you're interested in crypto reality on Patreon, join us. We have 3 different tiers over there. We're also building a website where you're going to be able to subscribe for free, and we'll also have paid content as well. But we're really interested in helping people, and so we're going to be building the site with education in mind, and all kinds of different subjects, and with experts lecturing and so on. So subscribe to Crypto Reality and make sure you turn your notifications on, guys. Thank you. We strive to work hard and provide more information for you. By subscribing and keeping your notifications on, you give us the ability to provide a more stable platform. Thank you for your support. We pledge to work hard. Okay, guys, we are back, and we are here for episode 2 of A Good Place to Potentially See a Bigfoot or Go Missing. These are serious places for serious hiking. If you want to engage in research that is closer to the fringes, that's fine. But if you engage in these areas that we're about to cover here, understand you could see one of these giant hominoids and potentially not come back, and it's got nothing to do with them. You could just die from exposure. These places are not the kind of places that you need to play around. I mean, there's shelters that are actively there in case you get stuck, right? Now, these are also places that if you plan and you're an experienced hiker, you can get there. We're looking at the Three Ridges Wilderness area right now, and we're looking at the topography from satellite. And granted, Google is patching things together, so it's not going to be as accurate as a topographical map, but they do a decent job. Looking at a lot of what's going on in the topography, we can see the water lines, and we can see that the shelter here is near the water line, and so. But looking at three ridges, oh my gosh! If you look, we've got watershed, and it's working its way into these areas, and we've got interesting topography right in here. And this is the kind of stuff that attracts the creatures, right? So if you're in these areas, Ty River Bridge, this is great, man. All you got to do is hike in here, and right in the fringes are going to be hominoids. They're all about what human beings are doing. So if there's an active area like this, right, where human beings are always around, this is the kind of an area that they like to hang out. Bridges provide shelter for these guys. They can get up in it, you know what I mean? They get up in these woods, and there's no telling how big some of them are. You never know. You know what I mean? And when you get going here, these places, if you talk to the locals or you run into people, they'll share stories with you about having encounters with these creatures. But again, this is not the kind of place that you leave the road in your vehicle and you take off into, and you don't have supplies and water and safety equipment. I recommend highly that you bring an EPIRB with you if you go on anything like the Appalachian Trail at this Ty River Bridge area. This looks awesome too. Look at this boardwalk, man, going back into the forest, right? Crossing the water. that's absolutely necessary for those creatures, and probably a good, hike is, you just park your car right here, and you can see there's parking, right? And then you cross over, right? You got a little parking on the side here. You get down in here, and you do your hike, man, all along the river. You can find tracks right in here. All you got to do is get down in these creek areas and start following them. Just keep your bearings, you know what I mean? Always be safe, because you could run into all types of wildlife out here, including bears, and you want to be real safe. But these are the kind of hikes that you can do, just pull in on a Saturday, and don't go too far in, man. Take a look around close to where the human activity is first. See, that's the thing. The creatures always like observing humans. So if there's a lot of activity, like you would find typically around a parking lot, a good place to research would be this entire chunk all the way around here, because you would probably find trails from the creatures and all kinds of activity behind trees and in bushes, stick things, and who knows, there might be a teepee somewhere in here. I mean, you can find all kinds of stuff, huge tracks. You look for the mud. So what are we looking for? We're looking for the basin. Here we have the Ty River, right? So all you got to do is follow the basin, and you're eventually going to run into a spot that has what? Mud. There's going to be a depression, and on the fringes of it is going to be mud. These deeper areas, you never know what's hanging around and lurking in these spots. You got private residences, so you always got to make sure you're not trespassing. But off in this area here, I think you're fine. Looking at the parking lots and all that stuff, man, this place looks awesome. Again, it's the Appalachian Trail, Ty River Bridge, and we are in. Oh, I just had it. Let me get another direction for you here. We're in Roseland, Virginia, and I got news for you, man. This is the kind of place that Mel and I will be visiting when we go out and start researching in the field, doing our travel show. I'm gonna pull up satellite, and we're gone. You know what I mean? And if you guys have your satellite spots and all that kind of stuff, email me, cryptoreality.us@gmail.com. And if you would like anything done on satellite, perhaps that you can, go in your area. And this is where we're at, right here. There it is, the Lee State Forest Trailhead. It's another really great spot. Appalachian Trail, Ty River Bridge, the Priest Wilderness. Man, do you understand what's going on in these areas? It's insane what's out there, waiting to be documented, waiting to be observed. Can you spend the time that's necessary to observe it? And can you be safe enough and good enough out there at surviving to make it out? That's the real question. Thanks for watching, guys. Support us by subscribing and turn on the notifications and stay up with us. The more we grow, the better the content gets, and we'll be doing these travel shows in no time at all. Thanks for watching. Have a great week.